but does. Howell, he's going to take a deep shot. McLaurin gets loose. He's got it against the Amador Lenore, a big gainer for Scary Terry. It was a start at week 18 last year, and he has continued to start every game this year.
Ranking top 10 players available in 2024 NFL free agency. While the San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens are settling into Las Vegas to prepare themselves for Super Bowl 58, there are 30 other teams that are looking to find a way to get to New Orleans next season, the site of Super Bowl 59. In doing so, those teams will first look toward the 2024 NFL free agency that will open up at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on March 14th. There will be some 700 players set to hit the 2024 NFL free agent market, according to Spotrac. We will somehow look to sift through that list and find the top 10. Some things that will go into consideration while making this list will be age, position, and expected production, among just good old-fashioned opinion. 1. Kirk Cousins, QB. Cousins looked to be right in the middle of one of his best seasons and was completing nearly 70% of his passes with 18 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions before going down with an Achilles injury. While coming off such a terrible injury at a late age, 36, can go against making Cousins the top player in NFL 2024 free agency, he will be an automatic upgrade to any offense needing a signal caller. He could make a team that's just on the cusp an immediate playoff team. It's Cousins' past production and position, that being the most needed in NFL, that propels Cousins to the top. 2. Chris Jones, DL. Minus all that Super Bowl chatter going back to last year's champs, the other bit of conversation for the Chiefs has leaned toward whether they'd re-sign Chris Jones. Of course, the Chiefs worked out a one-year deal with him last season to get him through 2023, where he accounted for 10.5 sacks and 30 total tackles. Jones will be coming into the 2024 season at 30 years old and considered not just one of the best interior pass rushers next season but of all time. Will the Chiefs actually let him hit the open market, though? 3. Josh Allen, edge. It ended up being a career-high season for the Jacksonville Jaguars edge rusher. He compiled 90 quarterback pressures, 19 sacks, and had a pass rush win rate of 20.5, which ranked for the 8th best in the league. Allen is big, fast, and versatile, and entering the season at 27 next season, he's bound to make a lot of money. 4. Brian Burns, DE. Coming into next season, Brian Burns will be one of the hottest free agents in the 2024 NFL free agency because, well, what NFL team isn't looking for a great pass rusher? Burns suffered from being with the Carolina Panthers, one of the most unstable franchises in the league, who consistently turned down trade offers for Burns. Even though his sack total dropped from 12.5 in 2022 to 8 in 2023, he posted his 4th straight pass rush grade above 70.0, 75.6, according to PFF. 5. Justin Madubuike, DT. Justin Madubuike was a pivotal part of the Ravens' top-ranked defense in 2023 that led the league in sacks. Madubuike himself had 13 of the team's 60. He also had 12 tackles for a loss and 2 forced fumbles in what would be a statistical career-best season for the young defensive tackle. Would the new Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald lure him to Seattle? 6. T. Higgins, WR. T. Higgins had very little action in 2023 thanks to injuries, only catching 42 receptions for 656 yards and 5 touchdowns in 12 games. It's still to be determined if that affects him in 2024 NFL free agency, but it doesn't drop him down on our list, as he makes the top 10 free agents. With that said, you have to look back at Higgins' 2023 production where he posted over 1,000 yards on 74 receptions with 7 touchdowns in 16 games. With his age, 26 entering next season, and previous production, not to mention his 6'4" frame, he's the best receiver entering the free agent market in 2024. It's doubtful Higgins returns to Cincinnati, however. 7. Christian Wilkins, DL. If it isn't obvious by now, this looks to be a heavy defensive front 2024 NFL free agency, or at least top-heavy if nothing else. Playing in all 17 games for a 3rd straight season, Wilkins finished 2023 with one of his best. He had a career high in sacks, 10, and QB hits, 16, and hurries, 32. Wilkins is said to be a versatile player, playing nose tackle or moving over to edge, according to ESPN. He'll be 28 entering the 2024 season. 8. Antoine Winfield Jr. S. Like most on this list, Winfield is coming off a career-high year, seemingly at the best time to earn a potential new, lucrative deal. He graded 85 and above on all of PFF's main categories, ranking second among safeties, having a total of 87 tackles, 6 sacks, 10 hurries, and 3 interceptions. Coming into the 2024 season at 25 years old, Winfield is just hitting the peak of his career. 9. Danielle Hunter, edge. Again, if you're looking for some sort of pass rush in free agency, there is going to be some intriguing options out there, like Minnesota Vikings' Danielle Hunter. He had 16.5 sacks that were best for 5th in the league in 2023, along with 54 pressures and 23 tackles for a loss, with 4 forced fumbles. 10. Jalen Johnson, CB. It seems possible that the Chicago Bears will negotiate a deal to keep Jalen Johnson given that they chose not to deal him during the 2023 season to another team. But of course, anything can happen. Nonetheless, Johnson has been one of the better lockdown corners of the NFL over the past couple of seasons. He's coming off his best year with takeaways, having 4 picks, while having 1 forced fumble. In his 4 seasons so far, he has never allowed a 60% completion rate. 2024 NFL free agency notable mentions. These were a few players that were just on the cusp of making the top 10 2024 NFL free agency players. Mike Evans, Wr. Evans is coming off one of his better seasons in some time, which seems appropriate in a contract season. He and Baker Mayfield were magical together. But the problem is that Evans will be 31 entering next season and will likely be looking at his last, long-term deal of his career. Baker Mayfield, QB. Speaking of Mayfield, no one may have earned themselves a better deal after their 2023 season than the Buccaneers quarterback did. He eclipsed over 4,000 yards and threw for 28 touchdowns, getting the Buccaneers a playoff victory in the process. Tampa Bay would likely be foolish not to make a deal with him. However, there will always be hesitancy with Mayfield, who has definitely been inconsistent in his career. Chase Young, edge. He'll still be just 25 years old by the time the 2024 season begins, and by that time, he could already be playing for his 3rd team. In 2023, he had 7.5 sacks and has been a part of the 49ers' stellar defense that got them to Super Bowl 58. Injuries have been Young's issue, which could scare teams away.